Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatin Shaukina binti Nori Faizal. My role is an ordinary student. Shaukina.
My name is Nur Fatiha binti Azmi. My role is technology students, Fatiha.
My name is Nur Siti Dilaila binti Ismail. My role is class representative, Dilaila. So, we are going to do task 1,
For GEEC 1052,
Which is performance task.
Stay tuned! Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon everyone. So, we are here today to talk about school safety. As a student, we often hear adult talks about school safety, but rarely do we get the chance to share our own voices. Safety is not just about fences, guards, or even CCTV, but safety is all about how do we feel secure in our daily routine. So today we will explore about physical safety, emotional safety, technology, and community collaboration. So I will start with my own perspective as a class representative. For me, I believe that safety is a responsibility. I feel accountable for my classmates during drills, during conflicts, or even during their ordinary days. If one of us feels unsafe, the atmosphere of the class will be changed. That's why I believe safety is about belief, not just what is written in the rules. What about you, Tia?
That's a good perspective, Lala. As a student who loves technology, I view safety through system and digital tools. By using apps, cameras, and reporting platforms, it can be helpful. But if we use it in misuse, it can be feared. It's because our privacy can spread or leaking without our permission. That is why today I want to share my experience about these tools and also how we can strive a balance between privacy and safety. How about you, Tina?
In my opinion, I represent the everyday student, the majority of students in school. I'm not a leader of technology expert, but my perspective is important because we are the ones who experience safety policies directly. When drills are confusing, when bullying is ignored, or when surveillance feels excessive, ordinary students feel the impact first. Through my sharing today, I hope to reflect the real experience and feelings of students like me. Are you guys agree with me?
Yes, we are totally agree with you, Kina. I don't want to waste our time anymore, so let's go straight to our main topic. In my experience, physical safety is often the most visible part in school safety. It is because we are surrounded by fire extinguishers, exit signs, or even regular drills. However, visibility doesn't necessarily equal to effectiveness. Because why? In my school, for instance, fire drills have become so predictable that students treat them as a social break rather than life-saving exercises. Sometimes children laugh and they treat it like a break and they don't even take it seriously. So I have introduced a buddy system, which is we are pairing juniors and seniors to foster a sense of mutual responsibility. But I still worry, what if the real emergency happens when recess and everyone is scattered? Or what if the primary exit is obstructed? We have a stress test. Those scenarios where I believe safety measures the reality, not just performative. We need to start varying our drills and simulate real scenarios so that students are truly conditioned to remain calm under pressure. What about you, Tia?
Yes, I agree with you. I've noticed that often this feels like a routine, not a practice for emergencies. Using technology can make us feel better because we can get more advantages by using this technology. For example, the school can use PA systems, classroom speakers, and also digital screens to do instructions during activities.
So, the schools can inform students about the exits which is they can use during a fire and also warns them if one way is blocked. The drills will be more dynamic and realistic. Besides, using technology alone is not enough actually. The student also need to learn how to take responsibility. In Japan, the earthquake drills are taken very seriously. They need to hide under the desk, learn to live calmly, and help classmates with hurt. Therefore, we need to take it as a lesson and sink into us and can apply it into our own drills. Do you agree with me, Gina?
Yes, I totally agree with you, Fatiha. As an ordinary student, I admit that I have treated this lightly in the past, but when I reflect on it, it's worrying. During one drill, students crowded exits and panicked. That moment showed me how fragile our safety preparedness really is. I believe school should explain why drills matter, not just instruct us to line up. When students understand the risks and real consequences, we take safety more seriously. Awareness creates responsibility. How about you, Fatiha?
Yes, I agree with you, Gina. Other than that, school safety is also about physical and emotional safety among the students. Physical safety we can sense, but emotional safety cannot be sensed, and sometimes it is most dangerous than physical safety. This is because the student will feel traumatized and also will feel that better they die than they live in this world. Bullying, harassment, and mental health problems can destroy the student's feelings safety. Posters and slogans about not bully is actually not really work. What is really work is actually support from friends, support from family, support from teachers, and they also need to tell their feeling and their mind to the person they are trust in a secret. In my school, we introduce online form that is anonymous. So the students not afraid to tell their burden in that form and not afraid get punishment from the bully. Besides, the most important thing is our school is take a good action from the report. This is because if the school I know the report, the student will lose interest to tell their feeling inside the form. School must act within 24 hours if there is a safety problem. The parents need to involve and also to give students a counseling if the students have emotional problem. Emotional safety also means inclusivity, which means students who lack out about background, identity, language can get more risk to feel emotional problems because they feel unsafe and uncomfortable. Therefore, school needs to protect both the body and the mind to every student. Do you agree with me, Laila?
That's actually what I think too, Deha. I'm on your side for that. Being a class representative showed me that bullying is not just a personal issue, but it creates a tense of environment that affects everyone's mood. I remember when a junior approached me about a cyberbullying case. I mean, she's been cyberbullied. Since the school took a proactive steps by arranging counseling and involving parents quickly, we have successfully managed to resolve the situation before it became further. Unfortunately, not every case is handled with the level of agency. It is quite dangerous when educators itself dismiss bullying as just a phase or kids being kids. As this mindset ignores that deep emotional distress students face. We need teachers who specifically trained to identify these psychological reflexes. At the same time, we must empower students to look out one another through peer-led initiatives. When seniors mentor juniors, it builds a foundation of trust that makes it easier for us or for the victim to speak up for themselves. Ultimately, a safe school environment is built on strong, supportive relationships rather than just a list of rules. Do you agree with me, Kina?
Yes, I agree with you, Delilah. As an ordinary student, emotional safety is something we feel even before we can explain it. When the school environment feels judgmental or dismissive, students withdraw. We stop asking questions and start pretending everything is fine, even when it's not. I have seen cases where bullying was minimized and victims were taught to be stronger. Emotional harm does not disappear when ignored. It grows quietly. Emotional safety begins when students feel heard and supported. Knowing that we want to be blamed for speaking up gives us the courage to live and be ourselves.
Technology is meant to protect students, but sometimes it makes us feel watched rather than supported. I understand the need for surveillance, especially to prevent violence. However, excessive monitoring can create anxiety. Cameras in hallways may help maintain order, but cameras in classrooms can affect students' comfort and focus. Learning requires freedom to make mistakes and express ideas. Schools must balance safety with trust. Transparency helps students cooperate rather than resist. How about you, Fatiha?
That's a good point, Tina. In the other hand, as a student who understands technology, I can see both sides. Facial recognitions is the one example. Some people say it stops intruders, but others say it makes surveillance normal. I think schools should use technology carefully, only when it really makes the safety better. For example, one district put camera only at the school entrance, not inside classroom. This choice will improve security without breaking trust. Technology also can give power to students. By using apps for secret reporting, emergency alerts, and peer mentoring can make safety more effective. But the school also must teach students how the system works. Therefore, students will not feel controlled. Do you guys agree with me?
Yes, we are totally agree with you, Fatiha. As class representative, I have seen how technology can help in real and also in practical ways. During a lockdown drills, our teachers use an app to send an information or even instruction to every classes. Within seconds, message reached all the students. Because the information was direct and clear, everyone understood what to do. There was less panic, less confusion, and the situation felt more controlled. Technology in that moment became a tool for calm and coordination. However, I also worry about the over-reliance to these systems. Technology is helpful, but it is not perfect as a human being. Apps can crash without warning, internet can be lost or maybe become unstable, and cameras or speakers can be malfunction at the worst possible times. If students depend completely on digital instruction or maybe they depend on 100%, what happens when the system fails? Emergencies do not wait for a device for its time. This is why human responsibility remains essential. Students must be trained not only to follow digital alerts, but also to understand procedures deeply. We should know evacuation routes, safety rules, and basic emergency responses by heart. Discipline, awareness, and critical thinking cannot be replaced by any education because it is a human being thing to do. Teachers and school leaders also play an important role in maintaining this balance. Technology should support preparation, not replace it. Regular drills without devices can help ensure that students are capable of acting responsibly even when there is no guidance from a screen. In the end, safety is about balance. We should embrace technology as a powerful tool, but we must not forget the importance of human beings. We cannot forget the importance of human judgment, cooperation, and responsibility. True preparedness comes from combining smart systems with well-trained, thoughtful individuals and who can stay calm and act wisely in any situation. In addition, let's see what community can do to deal with school safety. Safety is not just the school job. It really takes everyone, which is teachers, parents, students, and even local authorities to make it work. At my school, we sometimes organize workshops for parents to explain things like evacuation routes, emergency contacts, and what actually happened during drills. Some parents told us they didn't even realize how detailed the procedures were until they attended the workshop. After that, they started talking about home safety, which makes a big difference because it reinforces what we learn in school. Students also have an important role. We are not just supposed to listen and follow instructions, but we also can make, or maybe we can spread the awareness. As a class representative, I organize small peer campaigns, like designing safety posters, doing short role plays. As a class representative, I organize small peer campaigns like designing safety posters, doing short role play during class, or having open discussion about what we could do in certain emergency situations. When students are involved in these activities, safety doesn't feel like a boring rule book anymore. It becomes something we understand and take seriously. What I have noticed is that when everyone is involved, people feel more responsible. Parents trust the school, teachers feel supported, students feel heard. It creates a sense of teamwork instead of fear. We don't just prepare because we are told to. We are prepared because we care about it. In the end, safety works best when it's shared. When parents, teachers, and students communicate openly and support one another, safety stops being just a set of instructions. It becomes part of our daily mindset and culture. Am I right, Deha?
Yes, you are right. I agree with you. Safety projects led by students often work better than the rules from teachers. For example, in my schools, students make TikTok videos about fire safety. And from that videos, it reached many views from other students than official notice. So, from that, we know that safety must be practiced, not sports. Besides, we also need to working together with local helpers like firefighters, police, and counselors. This is because they can give training and support to students. Students must see safety as something the whole community does, not just a school rule. Do you agree with me, Kina?
Yes, I agree with you, Fatiha. Additionally, as an ordinary student, collaboration reassures me and strengthens my confidence in the school system when different members of the school community work hand in hand. It creates an atmosphere that feels structured, supportive, and genuinely caring. For instance,
When seniors willingly mentor juniors, they do more than simply offer academic guidance. They become role models who demonstrate responsibility, empathy, and leadership. Their presence helps juniors feel less anxious and more comfortable adapting to school life, especially during challenging transitions. At the same time, the active participation of parents plays an equally significant role. When parents attend school programs, communicate with teachers, and show interest in their children's development, it sends a powerful message that education and safety are shared responsibilities. This cooperation between home and school boosts a protective network around students, ensuring that no one feels isolated or neglected. Moreover, collaboration fosters open communication. When students know that teachers, seniors, and parents are connected and attentive, they are more likely to voice their concerns, report problems, and seek help when necessary. Safety, therefore, is not merely about strict rules or surveillance. It's about trust, understanding, and mutual respect. Through such collective efforts, safety becomes tangible and meaningful rather than theoretical. It reassures students like me that we are not navigating our educational journey alone. Instead, we are surrounded by individuals who genuinely care about our well-being, growth, and future. This sense of being valued and acknowledged strengthens our motivation to learn and contributes to a healthier, more positive school environment overall.
Let me begin by expanding on practical scenarios because safety is not theory, it is tested in real moments. Can you guys imagine this? We are in science lab, a chemical bottle falls and breaks. At first, student will slow, and someone says, it's just a water. But suddenly, the smell becomes strong. One student starts coughing, another panics and rushes towards the door. Within seconds, confusion spreads faster than the chemical itself. Now, here is the real questions. Are we trained for that moment? Most of us memorize academic facts for exam. But how many of us truly remember emergency procedures under stress? Safety training must go beyond routine fire drills. We need scenario-based simulations. What if the main exit is blocked? What if someone fails? What if the teacher is temporarily unable to respond? Technology can support us. For example, a school emergency system could send instant alerts to every classroom. The alarm can be used by avoiding science block, use staircase C. By using this alarm, this will prevent crowding and misinformation. However, technology is only effective if students are disciplined enough to follow instructions instead of spreading rumors online. Another serious situation is the lockdown situations. If there is a threat outside the schools, panic can escalate quickly. Some students may start recording video, others might text with different friends, spreading unverified information. By using social media, can either calm or create chaos. This is why digital responsibility is part of school safety. During emergencies, information must come from official channels only. Schools should educate students about crisis communications. For For example, school should tell about what to post, what not to post, why rumors are dangerous. But safely does not end when the emergency ends. After a lockdown or evacuations, students may feel anxious. Some may replay the alarm sound in their minds. Some may feel afraid after the next day. Emotional aftercare is essential. School should provide debrief season. Let students ask questions, let them express fear. Psychological first aid should be part of teacher training. Teachers should know how to calm students, how to recognize panics, and also how to react effectively. And finally, safety culture begins with us. We cannot demand a safe school by ignoring our responsibilities. If we laugh during drills, ignore hazards, or stay silent during bullying, we weaken the system. Lastly, safety is not fear-based, it is responsibility-based. Operations, emotional supports, technology and disciplines will need to work together because from that, school will become truly safe. What do you think, Laila?
I'm on you with that, Teha. So I want to build on what Fatiha shared, especially about responsibility and leadership. As a class representative, I learned that during emergencies, students look for direction. They look for someone who can make them feel calm. If leaders be panicked, others will be panicked too. If the leaders stay steady, others will follow too. That is why student leaders should receive structured safety training. Not just instruction like line up quietly, but deeper preparation on how to manage crowd flow, how to guide juniors, how to communicate clearly without shouting. In one drill, I noticed something important. A junior student froze when the alarm rang. He didn't move. He looked so overwhelmed. In that moment, I realized safety is not just about procedures. It is about human response. I had to gently let him inside out. I had to gently guide him up. That experience changed my perspective completely. I believe school should establish a student emergency response teams. Selected students could assist teachers during evacuations, check attendance, and help maintain calmness that would shape accountability. Leadership also means modeling behavior daily. If prefect jokes during the drills, other students won't take it seriously. If leaders ignore bullying, safety culture weakens. Furthermore, after every drill or incident, reflection should happen. Leaders can get feedback from classmates. For example, they can ask whether were instruction clear, or maybe they can ask, did you feel confused? Or maybe they can even ask, what can be improved? So, when students are involved in reviewing safety system, they feel ownership, and ownership increases responsibility towards them. So I think safety is strongest when leadership is not about authority, but is about influence. So what do you think, Shakina?
I think I agree with both of you, but I want to speak honestly from the perspective of an ordinary student. Sometimes safety policies feel distant from us. We participate in drills, but we don't fully understand the reasoning behind them. When drills are repetitive and predictable, we treat them casually. But when I imagine the real scenarios, a chemical spill, a lockdown, a power outage, I realize how unprepared I might feel emotionally. For example, during one unexpected power outage in school, the hallway became dark. Some students screamed, Some lowered nervously. That moment showed me that fear spreads quickly when we are uncertain. I think schools should explain the purpose behind drills more clearly. If students understand that these practices could one day protect our lives, our attitude would change. Also, everyday habits matter. Running in corridors, blocking staircases, ignoring broken railings. We often assume someone else will handle it. But safety depends on small responsible actions. Another important point is emotional safety after incidents. Even if nothing serious happens, students may still feel shaken. A simple class discussion could help when teachers allow us to talk openly. We feel heard and reassured. As ordinary students, we want to feel safe, not controlled. We respond better when teachers communicate respectfully instead of shouting. Safety culture grows when students feel trusted.
So, to summarize our discussion today, safety is multi-dimensional. It is about preparation, empathy, responsibility, and collaboration. It is about leadership and ordinary students working together. And most importantly, it is a culture, which is something we live, something we nurture, and something we pass on to others. If every student understands their role, if every teacher and parents actively participate, and if our safety systems are used wisely, then we create it as well. If every student understands their role, if every teachers and parents participate actively, and if our safety systems are used wisely, then we create a school where everyone else feels secure. Not just secure physically, but secure in mind and heart as well. Let's commit to building that culture of safety every single day. Because our school is our community and our future depends on it.
Let me add this. Safety is not about fear, rules, or punishments. It is about empowerment. When students know what to do, when they feel supported, and when they are trusted, they will act with confidence. And from that confidence, students are not just safer themselves, but they also make their peers safer too. So, let's take everything we discussed today and live it. Practice it, share it, and teach it. Technology, leadership, emotional support, all of these are tools, but the heart of safety is human. It is our care, our awareness, and our responsibility towards each other. This is what truly makes a school safe.
Finally, I want to say this. Safety is about people. Every rule, every drill, every system matters only if it protects students like me and allow us to grow, to learn, and to feel included. When safety becomes a shared journey, not just a rule to follow, it transforms this school into a place of trust, confidence, and belonging. Let's all work together as leaders, as peers, and as a community to make our school not just physically safe, but truly safe for our minds and hearts. That is the future we deserve. That's all.